Thank you for taking the time to join us today on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Hope your weekend is coming along well. Also, hope Ramzan is going great for those who partake. We have a very special Virtual Soch Cafe session for you today. For the first time, the Product Soch team is live to talk about our history, the vision, our mission behind Product Soch, and our different content engagement streams. And most importantly, this gives us an opportunity to get feedback directly from you, our valuable community, in terms of what's going well, what can be done better, and any ideas you may have. So we really want this to be an interactive session and would really love to get your thoughts, feedback, questions. So please type those into the chat box, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or YouTube. You'll also be able to join the live stream towards the end of the session with a restream link that I'll be posting on the Product Soch LinkedIn page as well as on the YouTube page. So be on the lookout for that in the comment section on both LinkedIn and YouTube. So to kick us off today is Sev, who's going to be talking about some of the history of Product Soch, how it came about, what's the mission and vision, and why it's important in today's context for Pakistan. So, Saif, if you could please introduce yourself, and I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Mudassir. So everyone, जैसे आपको नज़र आ रहा है, my name is Saifullah Khan. I'm leading product at Glowfish Product Studio. So I'll quickly walk through the inception of Product Soch. So Product Soch essentially started off with an event in July of 2021 called Epic Zero. And that was Pakistan's first product management conference, where a bunch of product professionals from across the industry came together, shared their views, had a bunch of really interesting talks and conversations. And uske end pe, as we do when we meet each other, we all shared our woes and dukhre about how we had to struggle through our product management careers, how there was a pretty heavy lack of mentorship and leadership and learning opportunities. And we came to the understanding ke, as again when we meet each other, ke, oh yaar, ek WhatsApp group banate hain, let's meet up for coffee sometime. And then we went away for a month and nothing really happened. And so we came to the conclusion that these ad hoc mechanisms that we have currently really don't work. And the problem areas that we see are so vast that we need to institutionalize this whole product management profession as a community that we can build. So we started in August of 2021 and built a formal community called Product Soch. The vision that we had at that time was essentially there was a bunch of investment coming into Pakistan. The tech scene in Pakistan was pretty hot, and we felt with all of that investment that was coming in, the promise or the potential of Pakistan wouldn't be realized unless we had really great product talent in the country to create great products. So at that point, the vision that we had was that we make Pakistan into one of the world's leading talent hubs for building and running, globally admired and successful products. And that vision is true today, regardless of whatever the chaos and confusion that the tech scene is going through currently. And I'll talk a bit about that as well later. Following on from the vision, now, what could we do to make Pakistan into that leading talent hub? As product professionals, the idea was that we create like I said, an institutional framework via a community and a bunch of activities and initiatives around that community, which help product professionals in the country gain inspiration, knowledge, and skills, all of which are necessary to build exceptional products that improve people's lives. So we started off with that vision, with that great mission. And we, at that point in August, 1 month after starting off, we held Pakistan's first, virtual product management conference as well, called Product Next Door, where we had all of these product professionals from within Pakistan and from the neighboring country as well. Had a bunch of great conversations. In October of that year, we started our social media presence, which all of you have been engaged with throughout the past year and a half. We've seen great responses and great learnings from across the community within that as well. And then throughout the past almost 2 years now at this point, we've seen, we've gone through a bunch of initiatives. As product professionals, we keep iterating on the activities and initiatives we can do, but the ethos or the philosophy of our approach towards the community always tends to be ke, since we are for you as product professionals, we keep engaging with all of you as the community and see कि हम मिलके कैसे इस profession को, इस industry को बेहतर कर सकते हैं. And this session is also in the same vein for us to connect with you and get ideas from you, get feedback from you, and figure out together how we can grow and how we can improve. Now, lastly, I'll just close this off because this tends to be a conversation point these days on, okay, given the current landscape of tech in Pakistan, why are we still, why is the vision still relevant? Why is the mission still relevant? And that is relevant because in this current funding crunch that we're in, it's going to be more and more important for us and more critical for us to build great products to achieve product market fit. And therefore, it is even more important than it used to be when you would get money easily. It is more important to have great, talented product professionals, whether it is designers or product managers or product leaders in the industry. And we're here to help out with that, and we hope we can all work together to achieve that.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much, Seth, for that. So as most of you know, we have a couple of work streams here at Product Soch. And of course, I'll leave it to the work stream owners to explain that. So they'll give a brief description of what those work streams are and their future aspirations for what they hope that work stream becomes. So we'll start with Sochnama, and Sarah, if you want to introduce yourself and take it away.
Of course. Hi, everyone. This is Sarah. As some of you may already know, I'm working as a product owner at Bobtail and handling Sochnama. Sochnamas are our weekly newsletters where we pack Mazike product insights, anything buzzing in the tech world. So, for example, ChatGPT these days, and how is it that PMs can leverage it so that they can get more productive in what they're doing. Job openings in the product world, that's something that has been a great, I'd say, meaningful thing for our product managers and for those who are following us, and much more. So we are approaching around 1,000 subscribers now, and if you're still missing out on this, आप सोच क्या रहे हैं? So please subscribe us at productsoch.substack.com. Another stream that I've been leading is Karachi Soch Cafes. And just to generally give you guys some background as to what Soch Cafes are, Soch Cafes are an informal gathering of product leaders as well as aspiring product managers. Arranging these on a regular basis has helped us to not only provide that platform, जो कि Saif was again referring to, जहाँ पे आप दुख अपने share करेंगे, frustrations with how you're not able to get your engineering leader to build what you want them to build, but otherwise also some of the tools and tricks under your sleeve that you might want to share with somebody who's an associate PM right now or want to sort of get into the field. But it also, we've seen that it also kind of helps us to have product managers connect on a deeper level and allow all of us to grow as we move together. In a jiffy, we have had 5 editions of Soch Cafes, each in Lahore, Islamabad, and Karachi, and all of our chapter leads are going to go about explaining that within their own sessions. Every now and then, हम virtual Soch Cafes करते हैं, just like this one, so that it allows us to connect with our audience on a broader level without the limitations of space and boundaries. But yeah, I think Soch Cafes has been essential in making sure that we bring the community together and create a space for mutual conversations. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And yeah, Karachi has been a great success. The last Karachi session we had a record turnout. So thank you for all your efforts there. I know Islamabad and Lahore are kind of bringing up the rear, so we'll be catching up soon. So on that note, Abdul Hanan, if you want to introduce yourself and talk about your stream.
Sure. Hi guys, this is Abdul Hanan. I'm currently working as a product manager at API Matic. And along with that, I'm heading the stream of Soch Cafe Islamabad. It's been a great journey. As Sarah told, that there have been 5 sessions, and all those 5 sessions have been really interactive. People coming in have been varying from experts to people trying to kick off their career in product management. And it's been growing since the past 5 sessions. I hope it's going to grow more and we get a strong community in Islamabad and Rawalpindi as well. So there are a lot of people joining us from Rawalpindi as well. So hoping to see more guys in the future. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and so Amna, if you want to talk about your stream. Amna, I think you're in mute.
Sorry, I was trying to find the tab. Hi, everyone. This is Amna. I'm working as a product manager at Pi Stadium. We have done couple of Soch cafes last year in Pakistan where we had a great turnout. A lot of people come up. This year we have also done a few Soch cafes in Lahore, and after Ramadan we will be doing like a lot more on that. And then we are hoping we have been doing those in Mindstorm Studios, and now we are trying to do some more avenues and see if we can have a lot of turnout over there as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys have any ideas about some great venues, perhaps companies that you're already working at in Lahore, do let us know in the chat. And perhaps, if you guys could link up with us, that'd be great. We'd love to have a session at your organization. So, all right.
I guess same goes for Islamabad as well.
Yeah, same goes for Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi, anywhere, if you guys want us to come to your organization, we'd love to be there. So, okay, Muhammad, over to you. I think you've got some news for us as well.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Muhammad. I've been part of the Product Soch team since time immemorial. Yeah, so as far as Dubai is concerned, I've recently shifted here and I've been working and we've been brainstorming with Sajjad and all the rest of the team on how we can take this now international. So hopefully in the coming weeks, you'll see some announcements of our Soch cafes that are going to happen in Dubai. And we definitely encourage, if you have friends, family, or you have some sort of product managers or product people in your network who would like to join these in Dubai, then definitely reach out to us and we'll hook you guys up and we'll essentially arrange this and make this happen pretty soon. Sajjad, do you want to add anything on top of that?
Yeah, so I just accent to what Mohammed said and just take this opportunity to say hi to the PMs and the aspiring PMs who are based in the UAE. So since I and Mohammed are in the UAE and we are planning to launch Product Soch UAE chapter, we are already in touch with the product talent in the UAE and soon we kick off the community here as well. So if you are in the UAE and any emirate, just let me or Mohammed know and we'll be in touch. Our plans for the UAE chapter are pretty much on the same lines of organizing Soch cafes and create a community hub for the UAE-based product managers.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mohammed. I think, you, of course, along with Soch Cafe Dubai, you've also got your hands full in a couple of other streams. So maybe if you want to talk about those.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mudassir. So I'm partly co-owning some of the streams when it comes to social media. So LinkedIn, YouTube, Slack, and another one which Mudassir will talk about at the end. But essentially what we're trying to do is disseminate as much product information from various different product leaders onto our social channels so that you guys can definitely learn from these leaders and implement some of the strategies, some of the frameworks, some of the concepts that they kind of recommend. We do also plan to continue our Product Ninja of the Week, where we shout out and kind of highlight product talent that is up and coming from Pakistan. As well as that, we are running our YouTube channel, which currently now hosts our podcast, as well as our sociology sessions, which are live. So definitely do subscribe to our LinkedIn, our YouTube channel. And if you guys use Slack or and you want to stay connected with the community, Slack is a very good avenue where we essentially keep on doing Q&A sessions. We have our resource material, which is regularly posted. And it's a platform where potential employers come in and they post their jobs, and you can definitely use the channel for the job portal channel to look for product jobs currently in Pakistan. But there are some let's say, diaspora who want to employ people in Pakistan with remote jobs. So that is another source that you can definitely count on. And we've had such great success stories from various different founders who found product talent within, let's say, 10, 15 interviews that they've done and people that they shortlisted. So I would definitely recommend product managers as well as founders who would like to kind of connect to use our Slack channel for that purpose. Yeah, and essentially, you just want to kind of pass the ball on to Abdul, who will take you through our podcast.
Abdul, you're on. We can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Sorry, I think you're on mute, Abdul. Yeah, it wouldn't be a tech podcast without tech issues, right? We were just laughing about that. Actually, we had dress rehearsal a couple minutes ago. So, Abdul, are you there? I think you're on mute. Let me unmute you there. Can you say anything now? Let's see if we can get the audio.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. Go for it.
Okay. Right. So no, I was just saying that we started Sochcast with a similar philosophy that we started Product Soch with, to start connecting and to start talking about product management, world-class product management from people that have done it all over the world. And the goal was to also bring them in. The goal always was to bring some kind of localization. So we'd hunt for product managers with Pakistani origin who have some understanding of the market here, and ideally also worked in Pakistan before moving abroad or working in some of the bigger known tech companies. And that's we've been very grateful to all of the leaders, some of the great product leaders that have come up and talked about product management, and not just product management, engineering management, and founders as well. In the last few weeks or last few months, we've kind of also pivoted our strategy to not just include product managers, but to talk about the tech ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, the venture ecosystem, the product management ecosystem as a whole. And the goal there is that we're not only focusing on product management, because that kind of makes us a bit restrictive, but also draw from experience of founders and also of technology leaders, specifically engineering leaders from abroad, from again, for companies where they've just done it and executed it, and then also to just listen into their experience and understand from them. And in that breadth, we've been able to kind of, and you will see that coming in the next few weeks, we've been able to call some of the more, extremely renowned people in the tech ecosystem, both abroad and international. Just recently, we had Yasser, and he came on. Yasser was the CEO of Arbisoft, and he came on and talked about everything from building teams in Pakistan to Arbisoft's future, to what the role of AI is in, specifically what the role of AI is in for Arbisoft, and also generally in the Pakistani ecosystem, and how we can leverage technologies like groundbreaking technologies to be able to help us accelerate our own ecosystem. And lately, we've also focused a bit more. Seth pointed it out. Seth hinted towards it earlier that the entire world is going through this financial crunch where money is not easy to come, and we often end up being on the 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 facing end of it 10 times more than whatever it is globally. So if you have money, अगर पैसे stop हो चुके तो Pakistan may rise up even 10 times more. And I think while that's bad, I also think that for any ecosystem, for any system to survive, um, it's also going to make us resilient. And I think what our focus has been over the past couple of weeks, or my focus has been by talking to these people, is that these people have also gone through, '08 ka crisis, and then 2020 ka, and then whatnot. So understanding that how can we build resilient products and how can we build resilient companies in this landscape, even when the money is not free to come. So, and all, to everything from policy to technology is something that uh, something that we've been focusing on, and that's what we'll continue to do in the next coming seasons as well. And if anyone has any ideas or any inspirations on the kind of guests we want to call, please let us know. Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abdul. I think, there was one point in there that you made I think is very important is, although we are product focused primarily, specifically around product management, product managers aren't anything without, their engineering counterparts and their design counterparts. So we also want to attract kind of the broader, what I would call, the prod eng community to these sessions. So, if you're listening or anybody in your circles, that is part of that organization within your company, please do share Product Soch with them, and I think we could benefit from each other. So awesome, thank you so much for that, Abdul. So the last work stream that I want to talk about is sociology. So I'm very fortunate to have actually partners with that work stream. So Mohiman has been instrumental in setting up amazing guests that come on. We have guests who come on for it used to be an hour. We cut that down to half an hour, so we have condensed value in that session, and they talk about a specific topic of interest. And it's an engaging session where people can bring in comments or ask questions, and they address that live right there and then. So those are also uploaded to our YouTube channel, so you can check those out there as well. So in addition to Mohiman, I'm also lucky to have Amna as part of that team who helps set everything up. So yeah, and so thank you everyone so much for your input. Now we'd like to open it up to all of you, our community, for your thoughts, feedback, and discussion. So please type your questions into the chat box in YouTube and LinkedIn, or even better, you can join us on the live stream by clicking on the live stream link that has just been posted. That'll just be posted shortly. And yeah, when you're joining the live stream, make sure your audio and video are both working before you join. So just give me a quick second. I'll be posting that link into the LinkedIn stream as well as the YouTube channel. So if you'd like to join us, please join that link. And in the meanwhile, I'll move on over to questions while somebody joins. So, okay. All right, so one of the questions that we have that's come in is, as an aspiring PM, how can Product Soch help me kickstart my PM career? And this is open to anybody, any one of you guys, if you want to take that.
I think I'll break the silence here and kind of just chip in my 2 cents. So the way that you can essentially leverage Product Soch when you're an aspiring PM is through our sociology sessions, where we're kind of connecting you with product leaders who are essentially explaining and giving you this immense amount of content which is relevant to what you're about to embark on. That's this product journey. And we've had people such as Christian from the SVG group, and we've also had other people such as Martina and Saeed Khan, who you can definitely learn from. And this is like a wealth of knowledge that is available to you free of cost, and you can definitely just tune into our sociology sessions and pick up from there. So I mean, that is a starting point where you can definitely, and it's a library of content that is available to you 24/7 to consume at your own pace. Other than that, do attend our Soch cafes. They're immensely great for networking, and it'll help you connect with product leaders, people who are in the industry, who can give you referrals, who can definitely help you out with interviews. And I think that's a great place to start off when you're like a APM or someone who just wants to break into product management. You'll definitely meet people who've transitioned from different industries, from marketing to product management, from UX to product management, from engineering to product management, from, let's say, business to product management. And those are the people that you would want to connect with. And I'm pretty sure you can resonate with their experiences and learn from them and how they transition. So that's a rich source. I'm going to open it up to everyone else, and you can definitely add to what I've just said.
I think Mohiman missed out on couple of the things that he does, which are also pretty useful. So there's a regular set of posts that go out on our LinkedIn, which carry a lot of information for product professionals. I think his Wisdom Wednesdays are generally pretty pretty interesting. You can learn a lot from them. And in addition to that, I think there's also our Slack community is pretty great, right? I've seen some of the most engaging communities that I've ever been a part of has been the Product Soch community. It's fairly dynamic. Everybody posts questions and ideas, and there's a lot of people who regularly respond. And there's even a few people who are pretty senior product leaders who've even set aside time and posted it on our Slack community and said, look, these are my hours to connect with me if anybody wants mentorship or anything that they want to learn. So becoming part of the community and just being very open with what you're looking for and asking questions would really help.
Yeah, I just want to add on the Slack community as well, right? There's job postings there too. There's people who are doing intros. As Seth mentioned, they're already product leaders. So it's great, you can start conversing with somebody, connect with them on LinkedIn. And really, I think that's a great way. It'll open up a ton of avenues for you guys. So, all right, next one. So where do you see the field of product management in Pakistan in the next 5 years? It's a deep one. So, if somebody wants to take like 30 seconds to think about that. But
I can take a shot at that. I don't think that there was this very interesting post by the Sehal Doshi that all of the roles, and this was a post that was as a reaction to Miro's AI product that was released recently. और उसमें ये था कि आपके जो मीटिंग नोट्स होते हैं, you can directly have a call on Miro through Google Meet के connection, and it'll take meeting notes for you, and it'll post it as stickies on the Miro board. And slowly, मतलब as in like उसमें किसी ने बोला था कि someone commented on Twitter that इससे ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे मतलब as in one other job of a product manager which is to take meeting notes and action items and then follow up with other people, वो भी खत्म हो जाएगी. तो उस पे सहाल दोषी ने फॉलो अप किया था कि all of the more operational type of responsibilities, the more project management type of responsibilities, the more product ops type of responsibilities will be automated, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. That gives you more time to get that kind of. And I know that I'm talking more about like more refined markets in North America and other economies, but I do think that impact is also going to start coming in Pakistan pretty rapidly, and we've already started seeing it. So I think even if for example funding doesn't force us, but I think the evolution in AI technology is going to force really to make us go out of that project management products op mindset into more product thinking mindset. And I think what a product thinking mindset means is focusing more on the problem space. I was talking to this guest earlier on, and we were talking about care. हमारे यहाँ पर, like if you look at between 2020 and 2022, and if you look at the venture funding, so much of our venture funding went into startups like, went into grocery delivery startups, right? Which is not necessarily to say that's a bad thing, but if you look at a society like Pakistan, economy like Pakistan, जहाँ पर all structural or functional problems that can be resolved through technology, do you really want to focus on 15-minute grocery delivery? Like it kind of seems stupid, right? Like when you think about it, but that's where we ended up raising a lot of money because we didn't end up focusing on care. Like it was more about mimicking कि India में क्या हो रहा है, North America में क्या हो रहा है, and if we can build a similar product with a great UX, it doesn't matter. But I think that what we forgot in that was that to actually build technology that solves fundamental problems. And in my regard, what I see is that because there's going to be this squeezing out, this period of tightening, it's going to force us to grow. It's going to force us to become more problem-centric thinkers, where we think about how to use technology to solve problems, not just product management as a buzzword that's utilized all over. That's something that's it's a buzzword, and it's a role it's popular all around the world, and that's why you want to get into it and not be very solution oriented and be more problem space oriented.
I can also chime in on that, Mudassir, if you let me.
Yeah, amazing. Please do, Arthur.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I second Abdul's take on that. Like, I think there are some clear trends that are happening within the product world. AI is one of them. But in the context of Pakistan, one thing that I see is that like we started our product management, product heavy journey somewhere in 2017, 2018. That's when the first foray of startups came in. And tab aisa tha कि it was a lot more focused on 0 to 1, right? People were just trying to hatch products and then launch them, distribute them within Pakistan to see like what sticks and what doesn't. Lekin I think in the 3 or 4 pillars of product management, when you're thinking about usability, desirability, value, and feasibility, and just viability, I think there was a lot more focus on just usability. How do we get a product up and running and then give that into the hands of the Pakistani people? I think in 2022, when everything happened, things started collapsing, layoffs started happening, and obviously some of the startups within Pakistan also shut down. I think there was a lot more focus on viability and अब perception. It's not just product as product, it's product as a business के ऊपर mindset ज़रा ज़्यादा आ गया कि अच्छा सिर्फ product बनाना नहीं है बल्कि पैसे भी कमाने हैं and unit economics भी ठीक करने हैं. And I think that wake up call was really important, as tragic as it was. Like, I think now there's going to be a lot more focus on feasible and very viable product ideas. I think Abdul ne already point out kiya that there was a lot more focus on these very glamorous kind of products, just mein grocery delivery bhi aati hai, logistics, etc. I feel there's going to be a massive transition to more capex friendly products. For example, SaaS is going to become big, and I think like, there are a few people that are working on that line. And in next 5 years, I see Pakistan transitioning from 0 to 1 thinking to actually going beyond that and thinking about what do you do after you've hit product market fit and really scale at a bigger stage. Funding bhi aa rahi hai, and I feel that a lot of the diaspora is also getting involved actively. I think we're in a lull period right now क्योंकि मतलब कि काफी वो layoffs and economic situations that are खराब है. But once we sort of exit that, I feel that there's just going to be a lot more retrospection done on what went wrong, and a lot of those learnings will be applied in the future. But as I think Abdul alluded, I think AI is going to be a big part of whatever we do. I feel it's not just relevant for Pakistan; it's relevant for pretty much the entire product management industry across the world. You need to embrace it right now, otherwise you'll probably be left behind. And it's really important that not only do you integrate it in your product management workflows, चाहे वो communication हो, specs हो, आपकी user research हो, but even trying to inject that within your product, because eventually it's going to become table stakes and people will expect कि आपका जो product है वो कि AI के साथ कुछ ना कुछ definitely values की leverage कर रहा हो. And that's the only way that we can transition from a very local product mindset, which is very specific to Pakistan, to a global one where we can actually launch our products all over the world and say that this was made by Pakistan. And that's also one of the goals and visions of Product Soch itself, right? Trying to make sure that people within Pakistan are able to build those products that are globally admired. So yeah, that's a bit from my side.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the great insight out there. We've actually got a couple of folks who will be joining us live, so I'll bring them on. If you could please unmute yourself, turn on your camera, I'll bring you into the room and you can ask your question. So we've got Ali Jaswar. Ali, you're on if you want to ask your question or provide your thoughts. Okay. Ali, we can't hear you if you're speaking. All right. I think maybe there's some technical issues on Ali's side, so I'm just gonna take him out. We'll go to additional questions that we've had come in. So this first question we had are from Muhammad Tayyab. So Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have a question. How can we change our track from UX design to product manager? I can take that one. Yeah, so I've had this conversation with a bunch of folks. I think like product management is not something that you can go to school for, right? The majority of product managers that I've met that have transitioned, they have transitioned, of course, from something else, but mostly within the same company, right? So because when somebody is hiring a product manager, they're looking for somebody who already has that product management experience. And in my view, at least, your best bet is to be part of something that you're already working on. So if you're already a designer that's working with a product management engineering team within your own company, be on the lookout for vacancies, right? Ask a ton of questions. Try to understand what the product manager does at a very deep level, and try to mimic some of those skills, right? And that I think that'll surface itself once that opportunity comes up. So that would be my kind of quick advice on how to get into product management or transition to product management. But I'll open up to the rest of you guys if you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I think I'll give my 2 cents here. So I think there are also kind of specialities when it also comes to product managers. So there is a technical product manager and then there's API product manager. And similarly, I've also seen some companies have design product managers, and which means that the product manager is basically leading it from a design point of view, and your product essentially is a design-led product. In that case, it's easier for you to transition from a design position, number one. And second is that when you move to a position that essentially utilizes what your expertise was in your previous role, it's easier for you to sort of go ahead and transition into that new role and adapt whatever it is that you need to do in addition to what you were doing previously. So I would recommend that the one thing that you should do is maybe search for specific product manager jobs that kind of highlight what your responsibilities are going to be. They differ organized from one organization to another. And if an organization specifically says that you have to be a liaison between the design team and the product team, I think that's where you might be a greater fit. But yeah, as Mudassir said, I think over the time, if you want to make a hard transition, I think that's where you kind of go ahead, make sure that you're learning the right skill sets and you're meeting with the right people. Networking is number one, because that's where you kind of learn from the hard battleground experiences that product managers go through. And yeah, I think that could be a great start.
I'll just add on to what Sarah already mentioned, which is there are certain skill sets that everyone has and would generally have acquired also throughout their previous experiences as well. So I think when you're transitioning into a product management role from a design role, you kind of have to step back a little and change the lens that you're looking at your product from. So when you were a designer, you would primarily looking at it from a user experience, usability perspective, and now you have to kind of step back and see it from a more strategic perspective. So what you'll have to just practical skills that you can acquire would probably be to understand the business fundamentals of your product. So there are some business objectives that you want to optimize your product for. How do you look at your whether it is financial metrics that you should be looking at, or other business facing metrics that you should develop an understanding for? How do you move those levers? So generally developing a better sense via acquiring some understanding of business management would be useful. Also, and this is the case for UX designers in some more developed markets, but perhaps in Pakistan that might not be the case. So just if that is not the case, it's just also help you if you acquire more quantitative skills, data analysis and understanding the data behind your product would also be pretty useful, and how you can run quantitative analyses on top of that data would really help, because a lot of what product managers do is parsing and understanding the data that they acquire from their products to better inform their decisions. Is something that generally PMs would be doing, and then sharing with the designers to think through this design solution to the problem. So there's just a couple of practical areas that you should look at in terms of acquiring knowledge and information. So yeah.
Yeah, Mohiman, you had a thought on that as well, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty much similar to what Seth just mentioned. I would just kind of go on and kind of wrap this up by just kind of mentioning the fact that as a designer, you have a super skill, which is the ability to design. So showcase that in your portfolio. I see a lot of product managers now coming in and they have great portfolios which tell a story. So just incorporate what Saif said and add that to your portfolio and kind of showcase your strategic thinking, showcase that you're comfortable with numbers, showcase that you understand what your business, for example, the company that you were previously working for, what the vision, mission was, and how, as a designer, but also having that cap of a product manager, you were able to understand that and deliver that through the product or feature that you guys were building. And I think that would definitely set you apart from any other product manager who's going to. So do leverage your design skills as well when you're applying. And also kind of you would have to work on your CV and slightly make it more in tune to what product manager's CV would look like. So those are some of the basic things that you could definitely do to kind of get that ball rolling and getting your interviews and the foot in the door, I would say.
Awesome. I think we've got a question along maybe the kind of similar length. So what skills do you recommend for a fresh grad? What should they learn who wishes to pursue a career in product management? Any general tips overall? This is a struggle, I know.
So I can take a crack at that. So when it comes to fresh graduates, obviously, first, in a career ladder perspective, the kind of roles that you're probably going to be targeting is associate product managers or a product owner role. And obviously, once you're coming out of college, the exposure is a bit low, but some of the skills that you would want to really focus on a lot, because as you enter that company, is really sharpening your communication skills, whether that's written, verbal, and spoken, and then also team coordination, because that's something that you'll be doing. You'll be thrown into this white space where you'll have to talk to developers, learn their jargon, designers learn their jargon, and then get stuff done. So communication skills is super important to make sure that you nail down. I think this, there are many other things, like people talk about technical knowledge. I think we've already addressed about quantitative. There's also this ability to visualize, like design. And I think wireframing is an important skill because it's also part of communication. लेकिन जो एक चीज मिसिंग होती है consistently with a lot of people who are coming into the discipline is that knack or penchant for discovery, which is research, right? Trying to ask the right questions. कि अच्छा ये कर भी रहे हैं तो क्यों कर रहे हैं? Like what's the reason behind that? Who is the stakeholder? What is the main pain point and problem? And then also trying to seek out other forms of evidence. So evidence, which is basically going to inform your product decision. It's not just basically about, I'm going to go into a Google Analytics dashboard and get some data from there. You need to sort of formulate evidence by talking to customers or looking at market trends or looking at an industry report and collecting anecdotes from prospects potential. So taking that into consideration and then coming up with something to inform your product decisions. That's an important skill to learn. And apart from the regular stuff, which is wireframing, if you have time on hand, I would highly recommend that you get a hand practice tools like Figma to sort of get your design skills up and ready. Look at already established products and how they go about design. Quantitative analysis as well, like data metrics, basic statistical metrics to sort of understand how they can inform product decisions and why they would be important behind any phenomena that you're seeing within the product. Eventually, you might also need some technical knowledge. That really depends on your product, because if you're in a mobile app or on a web product, that technical knowledge might vary. But you have to be ready and at least wary about that. Once you enter any product company, you'll have to learn a bit about how the technicalities work to become a bit more efficient and but more effective, as well as being able to converse with developers and your design team intelligently. Yeah. So those are few things that product owners might have to focus on. Communication and relationship management is a big part of it. In terms of activities, because you're coming from a university mindset, things that you would want to start doing, and I've seen other people take benefit from that, is look at established products. Go to Product Hunt, for example. There are a bunch of products that are coming out every single day. And just try to figure out, okay, what is this product trying to achieve? What is the audience that they're speaking to? and then noting down what the value proposition is and whatnot, and then just experiencing those products, and from a user experience perspective, looking at like what could have been improved and why certain things are done in a certain way, but also then absorbing a lot of knowledge, subscribe to newsletters, attend Ask Me Anything sessions from product experts, obviously read books. And books are great. Obviously, they can be a bit too ideal sometimes, so don't read too much into them because they may not paint the entire actual context. But yeah, talk to other PMs, join communities like Product Soch, to really understand like what happens in a day-to-day life of a product owner, to get a better sense of how you would want to structure yourself once you're in the ground running.
Yeah, thank you out there for that. And all these questions are great. They're awesome. And we appreciate the questions, and we'd also really love it if you have any feedback actually for Product Soch on the work that we do, any ideas or any questions related to Product Soch, right? Really, that was kind of the point of this session, that we wanted to get feedback from you guys in terms of what we can do better in Product Soch. Is there a stream that we haven't thought of so far, that you would recommend that we start? So yeah, we're open to those kinds of questions or comments. Okay. If not, maybe we can.
And I think, Mudassir, we can also reference that some of these questions that are being asked might be answered through Sochology. Like Sochology is a great venue to learn some of them. For example, I think Martina had a really great session about product marketing. Anyone who's beginning to get into that field might want to reference that. Sociology has a number of other topics that we've covered, from product metrics to PMF. And then even like if you want to get a sense of like what's a day-to-day like, attend the Soch Cafe meetups. I think you'll find a lot of people who have already established within their product careers, and you'll get a very realistic feel of what their day-to-day is like, and you can have a chat with them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you out there. Okay. All right. Yeah, so we'll take one more question. There's another one that came in, not related to Product Soch, but I think related to what we were talking about, kind of having technical knowledge as a PM. So Memuna asks, how much in-depth knowledge product managers should have about the technology being used in products such as PHP frameworks, AWS, or Flutter? So those are examples of some technologies that might be utilized. But yeah, like how much knowledge do we need to have as product managers?
Yeah, I can take that one. So historically, all along, जब हम भी product management में I entered a couple of years ago, we used to see a diagram, or you go to the Google and type what's product management, and go to the images, you will see that old legacy typical Venn diagram of product manager is in the intersection of UX, business, and engineering. I think the conversation has shifted, especially the expectations जो कि इस इकोनॉमिक टर्न डाउन के बाद वाले प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर्स के साथ हैं, से tied हैं, जो global thought leaders like Akash Gupta keeps telling us the commercially aware product manager is the future of product management, at least for the near future. So I've come up with my own sort of like Venn diagram. The product manager is now sitting in between the intersection of the API and the KPI. So you need to speak in both the languages, the language of the API and the language of the KPI. So there is always someone on the floor who can do this job better than you. You're bridging it, and you're leveraging your own skills of communication and managing the stakeholders' expectations, managing up, managing down, managing in parallel. जितनी भी technical skills आपके पास हों, you will not be able to sort of like max, उससे आप वो throughput produce नहीं कर सकते जो कि एक engineer जो कि dedicatedly काम कर रहा है वो कर सकता है. But the way you communicate with them, or या उनको you onboard them in the journey very, very early on in the journey. So उस communication में या उस language में बात करने के लिए आपको आपकी technical skills help कर सकती हैं. But at the end of the day, they have their own job to do. You have your own job to do. So in a nutshell, it's not something that you can always leverage on as your core skill. That's not your core skill.
Yeah, we also had a response from, I hope I'm saying his name right, Rafael Chaudhry. So he says the product manager understands the problem, talks to customers and stakeholders, and then provides the vision. You need to know all technologies and base infrastructure high level, but trust the tech team to build a highly scalable solution. As a PM, I test all edge cases. And try to break the product if I'm not able to. So the tech team is doing a great job. I think that's a great way to put it. So thank you for that answer, Rafael. Okay.
I can also add to that. That's right, and I think as Sajad mentioned, and like Rafael is suggesting, is it's not your core skill. It's not going to be that you're going to be sitting in architecture sessions and saying, okay, this is how we're going to build the product.
Yeah.
Technically, I think what's really important to understand is that once you get in, you will have to converse with developers, and you will sort of need to understand their jargon. इसकी मिसाल ये है कि आपका एक developer कहता है कि यार there's technical debt that we have to address. They may reference stuff like that. यार AWS के अंदर ये काम करने वाला है, वहाँ server के अंदर ये problems हो रहे हैं. And अगर हमने आगे feature बनाना है तो we'll have to restructure the way database को restructure करना पड़ेगा, etc. Now you don't have to get into the technical intricacies of that, but you need to be able to understand and appreciate like what they're trying to achieve. Same thing with Flutter. हमने 2018 के अंदर एक mobile app बनाई थी, and we were trying to sort of see whether we should go native iOS, native Android की app बनानी है, कि do we want to go for a cross-platform architecture like Flutter. And there were like real pros and cons between them, and we had to make a intelligent decision. Or what decision product ko karna tha, because product was going to lay down the roadmap of what's going to come up next. Some of the things that we realized at that time, ke acha iPhone ke native framework ke andar you have a lot more access to the hardware of the iPhone, and it's much better in case you want to leverage AR. Whereas like a Flutter आप उस time करते तो फिर there were limitations, and उसके अंदर SDK limitations भी थी, and etc. As a product manager, I need to know at that high level so that I can have an intelligent conversation with the team and give them that vision. Okay, this is what we're planning to do. Make sure that we have this in consideration. So I always encourage that try to at least understand at a structural level of how the technologies are laid out, what a database is, what a server is, what those typical technical terms mean. Like अगर कोई 502 error बताता है तो आपको at least पता होना चाहिए what is that essentially entail. But yeah, you don't have to worry about coding. You don't have to worry about programming. You don't have to get down to like the nitty-gritties of each technical aspect, and you certainly don't have to advise architects or team leads on here's how I want you to program this.
Yeah, that's a great response out there. I'll just add, there are also technical product managers, right? So that's a thing too. Frankly, yeah, I mean, Google, what a technical product manager does, they do some of the things that Arthur said that traditional product managers don't do, right? So they're typically engineers by background, and they know engineering in and out and all the tech stacks and everything. So yeah, so there's that as well. So you may be a technical product manager. But I mean, from what I've seen, they're kind of few and far in between. So they're pretty valuable folks. But I think we've got one on the line though, Abdul Hanan.
Yeah, I guess Arthur has covered everything that goes about technical product management. So I'm currently working on a product that's for developers. So I need to jump in. I need to see what exactly in each language that we need to develop, because it's a code generation engine. At the end of the day, we need to see how we can facilitate a developer. And especially when it comes to prioritizing what work needs to be done, I need to sit down with the developers to understand exactly what changes are going to go in, and having that knowledge from
Abdul Hanan, I think you're on mute now. You got muted.
Oh, I was mute the whole time.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So basically, it's more about that, as Arthur already mentioned, that it helps getting the right product to the developers. In my case, so.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Do we have any more questions that have come in or comments? Okay. I don't see anything else. So I think that is a wrap for now. So yeah, thank you to the entire team for joining. Thank you to our community, especially for joining, for supporting us, over the past year and a half. It's been an incredible journey, and really what we want to improve as time goes on, right? So we're really relying on your feedback, and that's what we really wanted this session to be as well, to get feedback. You can still provide us feedback in the comments. And so we've got some great stuff coming. We've got season 2 of Sochcast podcast coming. If you haven't seen the first season, do check that out. We have some amazing guests come on board, and then we continue to bring on additional guests for Sochology. So that happens every other Thursday. So do join us for those. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Any thoughts, comments from the team before we sign off? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy your weekend.
I just would like to add, like, if anybody has
Out there, I think you're breaking up quite a bit there. Okay. Well, we'll see if Arthur's able to come back online for a second. Give him a second. Arthur, are you still there?
I think what Arthur was trying to say is that if anybody has feedback or any ideas that Product Soch could, maybe look into, and if related to all the work streams that we just mentioned, if there's any feedback that you want to get back to us, make sure to get back to us on our email address, hello@productsoch.com. We'd be happy to reply back to you. We'd be happy to, sort of take it into consideration and get things done.
Okay. Awesome. All right. That's a wrap. Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.